What's the name of the phone company?
Huawei.
I think it's a Geordie chat-up line, isn't it? Huawei.
I think the real injustice is that it's not pronounced Huawei.
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 Huawei would be great. It'd be like Loughborough's boring, but Luga Baruga. Who doesn't want to go to Luga Baruga?
But they think that they'll spy on us through 5G. But
yeah.
I don't think I'm very interested to spy on. Well, they're going to look at my phone. It's just me watching Dennis Bergkamp videos and a hardcore dwarf porn. And I know you can't say dwarf anymore, but you try Googling little person porn and not have the police around your house quicker than you can say Snow White Bukkake. I'm telling you.
OK, so 5G.
What's a G?
What's a G? This guy.
I mean...
Oh, that might be the dumbest thing I ever said.
It's fun, because 3G was quality for 8. There was no 1 or 2G. 3G was quality. 4G popped up for a bit. Now it's 5G. I mean, 3G's the OG of G.
Yeah. I mean, what next?
Gina G.
Gina G.
Gina G, yeah.
Really
The original.
like Gina G.
Yeah. But she didn't get very good reception either.
There was the G spot, we couldn't find it.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
No, but it's fascinating that people are so suspicious of them, but actually, it's not like you can really turn them down as Britain. Like, if you don't use these guys, then it's likely we'll just have to go back to dial-up, and to that I say, ni hao to our new technological
I suppose if we don't go with them, we've got Alan Sugar and Amstrad.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, we're using the Faxophone 3000.
Yep.
But that's Trump's supposed to be sorting it out. He's gone, don't worry, Boris, I'll sort it out for you. It's like when you get a job priced up at home and then your mate goes, I can do that half the price, don't worry. And before you know it, you've got your mate round your house, you've paid him in cash up front, he's crying about his divorce, installing a 56k modem. Or you're digging out your VHS porn for an analogue wank.
Ovi, what do you make of this 5G? They reckon the Chinese are going to be able to spy on us. You worried?
Oh, God. Nah, I'm not the person to ask.
Well, you're dressed like a spy. Catherine, are you worried by Huawei?
I don't mind being spied on. You know, you can watch me all day. I'll make little asides to the camera like my very own Fleabag. I wouldn't mind it at all, but I don't understand G, and I don't understand why we can't make our own G. Do you know what I mean? Why do we need American G or Chinese G?
Chinese G sounds like a geezer.
Who's coming tonight? Mike, Phil, Chinese G.
We had the National Cake Championships recently, where the whole nation gathered round an oven and waited with bated breath to see who made the best cake.
Well, especially it wasn't even cake. In the end, there was a windmill and a letterbox.
Made of cake.
Ish. Like when I see some cake, I say, oh, I left some cake. But with that one, you wouldn't even have known where to start slicing. So and they put all the hours in and lovely and what have you, but was not for consumption.
Don't take this the wrong way, but are you a bit of a cake fascist?
Well, I like my cake edible and manageable, yes.
That is not a cake! No, I don't watch it because nothing happens. That's the whole point. That's why people like it, because nothing happens. Someone bakes a cake. If I had a choice between watching Bake Off and watching the last hour of a light bulb, I'd choose the light bulb. But, you know, when you're just watching a light bulb just flickering before it just goes... Or if I want to entertain myself, I just rub my eyes like that. And then go into a dark room and see all the stars. Oh, this is great. I see stars. So I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not a baker. I did an old lady one.
Bake Off is just about an excuse to eat cake. What is not to get?
Yeah, but
why
that's
wouldn't
the
you
thing.
watch it?
It's only on telly. You can't eat it.
Yeah, because then you make it. You go out, you then make yourself
yeah, but you're
a
not.
cake.
Have you
You're
been
watching telly.
No, I go out, I make the cake. Well, not that cake. I don't make the windmill and whatever.
So, which cakes have you made this year? What did you go with?
This week, for the final, me and my husband made a chocolate banana loaf.
A chocolate banana loaf.
Yeah. It makes you feel better because it's got fruit in, so you think you're being healthy, but really it's just chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake with a banana next to it, is it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you drink?
No.
No. That's it. You can only really get excited about cake, I think, if you don't drink.
Maybe they should do drink off. Maybe they should just have people making drinks, that's a lovely gin and tonic. Yeah, lovely. Because you could really play along at home with that.
Yeah. You have to keep Mary Berry on. Just faced by the end of it.
She was loving the Baileys.
She likes a drink, I've heard.
And it would also make sense why it always... Mary would like you to, as if she couldn't speak herself. She has got her mother to speak for her, doesn't she? And so Mary would like... And she stands right there, so... And she must have told them in the first place what she would like. I mean, that bit of the show makes absolutely no sense.
What bit?
Well,
I don't watch it, so...
Well, essentially what it is essentially reenactment of Victorian London, where there is the paupers in the cellar and the high and mighty, they're being served cake in that instance.
Did you watch Downton Abbey by mistake? John, have you been watching Bake Off?
I just don't get it. I just take it too seriously.
What do you mean take it too seriously? You take cooking very seriously.
I take life seriously. Cake is just cake, though, isn't it? Paul Hollywood
It's not just
talks
cake,
about it
though.
like, oh, that could have done with just 17.4 seconds longer in the oven now. You're talking out of your arse, man.
Ramesh, do you watch Bake Off?
I love Bake Off. I think it's the best thing on TV. I absolutely love it. I went on Extra Slice, like the offshoot show. I was a guest on there talking about Bake Off. I made vegan brownies because I am one. And,
Of course, Henry, you've got Dancing with the Stars in America.
In America, yes.
Would you ever consider going on?
I enjoy watching it. I will not. I can't do it.
That's a shame. I think because you used to have incredible dance moves back in the day.
I did, and I want to keep them a great memory.
You would never be allowed on the British version because if anyone's ever been out dancing before, they say, oh no, that's unfair, they know what they're doing. So that seems to be the main criticism of most candidates.
There has been a huge controversy this year because there's a lady on the show called Pixie Lott, who's very good, but she's done 8 years dance training at an elite academy, so she was always going to be quite good. She's favourite at the moment. She's 3-1 to win, as is Frankie Bridge off of the Saturdays.
You know the Saturdays?
I actually met one of the Saturday.
Really?
Which one did you meet?
Beautiful one.
Oh. Well, I know which one it wasn't.
That's,
Penny, do you watch the show?
Not regularly, but I wonder, a lot of them professional dancers, not the ones on the program, but there's loads of them that have gone to the dancing schools or whatever they might be called, and
dancing school, yeah.
Yeah, dancing school, and they've put themselves through everything because of the dancing, and then they see all of a sudden any old Herbert having a go on Strictly Come Dancing. They must be feeling like most stand-ups feel when they turn the telly on and there is Paddy McGuinness.
Rebecca, when are you doing Strictly? Have you done Strictly or are you doing it?
No, never done it. I'll do it if you'll do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to wait till after the career-defining event. I might have to go in the jungle first to win back public support.
Jimmy, you'd be lucky to get on the coach trip.
Do you watch the show?
Yeah, I love Top Gear.
So, well, tell us what happened. So
They went out to Argentina, and the number plate was obviously offensive to the Falklands War, and then protested started, and they were going to be killed, apparently.
I'd say that Clarkson has tweeted this week the number plate was a coincidence. When it was pointed out to us, we changed it.
I mean, he's poor Jeremy Clarkson's had a bloody week of it, to be honest, because he got to the airport and he was on flight 8008, and that spelt boob, and he was very embarrassed about that. And he was in seat number 69, he was like, oh, bloody hell, he didn't actually. And he got to his hotel room and he was in room number I hate Argies, and he didn't know anything about that either. He's just so unlucky, that man.
Then the car was obviously left in Argentina, and they found another licence plate in the boot of the car, which was this.
I reckon what happened is that They were driving down the street, a load of Argentinians were chasing them with rocks and stuff, trying to kill them and whatever, and then a BBC producer came out and said, look, we're sorry, we didn't realise the number plates were that offensive, and they just went, what number plates? We're just trying to kill the prick. Because I just think it's the BBC's attempt to get him slaughtered. I reckon next they'll send him to Syria with a number plate that says 1S are Gaylords.
When you Google Jeremy Clarkson, it genuinely says, people also searched for Jeremy Kyle and Piers Morgan. I think that says everything you need to know about him.
No, but I think the thing about him is you have to say, you have to admire how good he is at his job. Because he can say virtually anything and they can't sack him. That's how good he is.
Well, can I ask a question? How are the ratings?
Amazing.
Really? I think it's the #1 show in the world.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Basically,
he's going to say whatever he wants.
He could have a on Mary Berry's cake tin. And they go, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. I thought it was I didn't realise, sorry. Oh, God, what am I like? You think, though, one thing I think about Clarkson, he's got two big loves in his life, fags and petrol. If only we could find a way.
Did you know, for example, the minimum pay for a prisoner in a British jail is £4 per week? They say crime doesn't pay, but it does. £4 a week. The average German wakes up at 6:23 a.m. Well, it's difficult to sleep with all that on your conscience. And 40% of people use their mobile phone to cheat on their partner. I use Mr. Tinkle. Let's get started. Sean, Vic, Rafe, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I guess on the topic of reality television, Lee, that's what I'm talking about, McQueen winning The Apprentice.
He doesn't. He's never said that's what I'm talking about. No. He says, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's how that works. Did you watch any of The Apprentice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I never had my finger away from the button where it was on.
I like Don.
Didn't he? Yeah.
The thing I like best about Serrano Sugar is he's mental. Clearly, he's mental. Because he brings them together. He goes, right, you're probably wondering why we're at the Tate Modern. That's right, we're making fudge. Yeah, you're probably wondering why we're at Duxford Air Museum. That's right, children's coffins.
It's all part of his policy to try and intimidate.
Yeah, and why did you have to do everything on a weird fax phone?
Weird fax
You had to
phone?
make all the phone calls in the series like that, using...
Using a normal telephone with the loudspeaker function switched on.
It's terrible. It's terrible when twins fall out, isn't it?
Did you not get a little bit unnerved by Nick and Margaret always, like, hiding behind plant pots, just taking notes? And even when it was something they didn't even care about, like, you could be washing cars and they'd be going...
What were you doing before you were on The Apprentice?
I thought he was the Ents officer in 8.5 Hot Mum. It might just be me. You know, sometimes grammatical things annoy you. His catchphrase is, you're fired, yet you haven't got the job yet. So really, it shouldn't be you're fired, because it's about trying to get the job. It should be, you're not on The Apprentice show anymore. That's what it should be.
You're right, of course.
It's a bit like, thank you. It's a bit like, you remember Bruce Forsyth's catchphrase was, nice to see you nice. It doesn't make any sense. What it should be is, nice to see you. No, really, it's nice to see you. It's the same
That's why he's
problem.
never going to get fucking anywhere, Sean. Well, let's have a look and see whether The Apprentice is one of the most talked about things this week. So it is the 5th most talked about thing this week. Yes, The Apprentice ended this week. Tragically, due to a mix-up at the BBC, the winner of The Apprentice is going to be playing Nancy in a West End production of Oliver. Did you know, for example, 1 in 4 people think that using an electric toothbrush is lazy? Yeah, what's wrong with traditional foreplay? 62% of Scots spend more than 30 minutes on the phone every day. Hello, it's me again. I'm having another heart attack. And a plastic bag in a landfill site takes 1,000 years to rot away. So, in a sense, it is a bag for life. Take that, M&S. Let's get started. Jason, Matt, Frankie, what are the nation be talking about this week?
Wimbledon. Well, they're all there. Hewitt is there, Federer, Murray, the Williams brothers are there. So they're all... it's pretty good. Tim Henman is doing the commentary for the old Beeb, and it's going to be weird for him staying the full 2 weeks, I think. Do you think halfway through the commentary he's not doing so well, someone just goes, "Come on, Tim!"
Do you watch the Wimbledon?
Yeah, I watched Andy Murray beat the French guy. I'm quite surprised he beat him and the French guy didn't just surrender after a couple of sets.
Nice.
There's a new word, isn't it? Because it's Henmania, and now they've got Andymonium. And I think, really, it's good, Andymonium. I think, really, it should be called Andy Pandemonium, shouldn't it?
He's a right miserable-looking bastard, Murray, as well, isn't he?
Yeah, as opposed to your good self, Frankie.
Not a 21-year-old millionaire who looks like if they let him near the umpire's chair, he'd hang himself off it.
It's so boring, tennis, that the slightest thing, the crowd go mental, like it's the most hilarious, shocking thing they've ever seen. Federer's opponent sat next to him. Did you see that bit? The crowd reacted like he'd picked up a ball boy, swung him around by the ankles and thrown him into the crowd. Why do they throw the sweaty... It's horrible. They throw their sweaty headbands into the... It's horrible. We're in here for about 3 hours, sweaty. Like... Imagine if Vanessa at the end just got her knickers off and went, "Go on!"
The press are obsessed with knickers, aren't they? If you just were going, "God, I can see her knickers. Whoa, I can see her looking knickers," you'd be down as a pervert. You get arrested. The Sun can just go to the tennis and go, "Whoa, look at her knickers. She's got red ones on. Whoa." It's the equivalent of standing at the bottom of the stairs at work, just going, "Oh, I've seen your knickers." For some reason, it's fine.
But don't you think that those sound effects, you know, when they go, "Ugh," every time they serve and everything, "Ugh," and if you combine that with porn, where everyone's always going, "Ugh, ugh," don't you think it just puts ordinary people under colossal pressure? Because, like, very often you're being shagged and you don't want to make any noise, you just want to go, "Oh." You don't always have to go, "Oh," do you? Or you go, "Oh." You just sometimes want to go, and you feel you have to.
Why don't you just get him to shag you and put the tennis on in the background?
Well, let's see how many people are talking about Wimbledon this week. It's the most talked about thing in Great Britain this week. Yes, Wimbledon started this week. Tim Henman is commentating this year, which means the chances of him winning the competition are exactly the same as last year. Sean, Vanessa and Lee, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
There's Nelson Mandela's birthday concert in Hyde Park, and there's Glastonbury as well. Then everyone's worried about Amy Winehouse. Oh, will she be well enough to make it? Her dad, Mitch, says she's got emphysema, which I think, at 24, that must be some kind of record. By the time she's 30, she'll have scurvy and rickets. She'll go in a bath chair with an ear trumpet.
Have you seen the pictures of her this week? She looks like a campaign poster for neglected horses.
The thing they used to do at Glastonbury is they always had... They're a bit ironic, so they'd have someone like Tom Jones on or Shirley Bassey. But it's gone way too ironic this year. And this year they've got Will Young on, Neil Diamond and Shakin' Stevens. It's like a wedding disco. People say, "Oh, Shakin' Stevens will be brilliant." He won't. He'll be shit, because he's shit.
Would you be tempted to go to Glastonbury?
Yeah, I'm going on to Glastonbury.
You get killed tonight, don't you?
Yeah, 2 hours dead. Feel good.
You should go out to all the stone people at Glastonbury and...
Make yourself white.
Make yourself all white and then just unzip the tent like that and go...
What, do you think Hollyoaks is on a big screen at Glastonbury?
It's no more mental than putting Jay-Z on, is it?
Jay-Z.
Is it Jay-Z now?
Yeah, he's in England. It's
Oh,
Jay-Z,
right.
mate. You're over here, you play violins. It's Jay-Z. I did a Reading festival, and all the tents are really close. You can hear the bands. They're not that far away. There was a band on stage when I was on, right, and there was like a sort of thrash metal punk band, and their finale was the lead singer has a shit onto a towel,
Oh, no.
then gets the towel and swings it round, and then throws it into the crowd.
What,
He's nicked your act.
It'd be great if Nelson did that, wouldn't it?
You are not
expecting that.
Come on, it's a party!
OK, well, let's see if the big concert weekend is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it's the Glastonbury weekend. Kelly Osbourne is going to be filming a video diary of the shenanigans backstage. I didn't even realise the shenanigans were playing. What do you think the nation are afraid of?
Ghosts?
I'm afraid of no ghosts.
No.
Not compelled to say that. Do you believe in that? Do you have any sort of...
No, I don't. You do, though, didn't you?
I mean, there's bits of it that I believe and there's bits that I don't believe. You know what I mean?
Well, do you believe in ghosts? That bit?
No, I believe... If there was ghosts, then it'd be overpopulated. There'll be ghosts everywhere.
You know a stopped clock is right twice a day? Such a good point.
It's a good... But there'll be loads
If there
of
were
them.
ghosts, there'd be ghosts everywhere, yeah. All over the shop.
I'll tell you what, right? I've done a ghost documentary years ago, and I stayed at this fella's house. He's an old geezer called Fred. He lived in this place called the Rams Inn.
Yeah.
I had to stay there one night, and he reckons that there's a certain ghost called an incubus.
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 What? Incubus.
You heard of this? It's a ghost that tries to have sex with you.
Yeah.
And then there's a succubus.
Yeah. Succubus, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's self-explanatory, that one. But yeah. But yeah, no one tried to do nothing to me, so I was pretty...
Insulted.
They weren't interested in me at all.
What you should have done is I creeped in and suck off Fred and really...
Great prank, Rob, great prank.
Oh, we're right, laugh. I just sucked Fred off, he thought it was a ghost. Quality.
Lads.
Yes, oh, the geezers are not out in Come here, Fred. Yeah. Who's running who now, Fred?
Rob and Joe, ghost hunters. Are you scared of death, Jamali?
I nearly died not that long ago. I was in Bangkok and I got measles and my lungs hemorrhaged. And so I was coughing up blood. My mum never got me vaccinated.
You were not vaccinated?
Bro, this is what happened, because I remember, because they were saying to me, have you been vaccinated? And I was like, I don't know. I rang my mum and I was like, Mum, did you vaccinate me when I was a kid? And she goes, ah. So we had to... I'm like, wow. There's 4 of us and only 2 of us were vaccinated. My mum ain't a nice woman, man.
What? 2 of your siblings would disagree.
I'm not afraid of death at all. What? Just thought I'd put it out there.
Why aren't you scared of death?
Because I think the wake situation is quite exciting. When I was 6, I stayed in a bed with my dead granny.
What?
Yeah. So it was a wake, and
It was a wake? Well, she's not dead then.
It's called a wake, and so after the person dies, before they go to the church and get buried, you have a wake.
Yeah, we know what a wake is.
Okay, well then why is this such a surprise to you?
Because you were 6 and you slept with her.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't sleep with the corpses. That's the only difference.
I agree with you, Kelly. I'm impressed that my mum can even turn on a computer, and I think that's the way mum should be.
What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation, and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Jason.
Well, it's got to be Michael Jackson's funeral, hasn't it?
What, sorry? Is he dead? Did you watch it?
Oh, I caught the last half hour. Thought it was quite nice. I mean, everyone's been slagging it off, saying it was a bit, you know, a bit cheesy and that, but if you could have Stevie Wonder singing at your funeral, you'd have him, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd rather it was your 40th, but, you know, you'd have him, wouldn't you? The weirdest thing was all the fans. There was, like, millions of fans dressed up like Michael Jackson. Now, can you imagine being at your nana's funeral, right? Just coming out and everyone's dressed like her. You're like...
The thing that I love is how people forget about the bad stuff with the kids.
Oh,
yeah!
about that.
He was nice, though. He did really good music. It's like, when anyone dies, that's always what happens. Like, this man murdered 20 prostitutes. Ah, but he was good at macrame.
I'll be honest with you, I think when glitter goes, people will remember the bad stuff. Kelly, did you watch it?
I thought the whole thing was a bit much, to be honest. I mean, all of his brothers wearing the glove.
Do you notice the detail of that? Because they clearly bought 5...
I know, someone told me this, I thought it was so funny. Instead of buying each one of them a right or a left-handed glove, they bought, like, 6 players and split them between 12, so some of them had them on the left hand and some of them had them on the right.
The weirdest thing I read is that they're going to put him in a concrete tomb so crazed fans can't dig him up. Who is doing that? Seriously?
Who is that much of a fan? Like, hey, love, I know we missed out on tickets for the memorial service. Come in the lounge.
No, but won't his face not decompose because it's plastic?
I don't think it will. I think it'll stay pretty much as is.
Yeah, he's like a bag of nappies. 500-600 years. But I mean, the weird thing about it is it's not really the funeral, is it? It's like a sort of pre-funeral. It's like he's engaged to be dead. In a way, he said, well, we're dead, we're preparing for his deadness, but his deadness hasn't happened yet. We haven't got the full deadness. Because his funeral's going to go on for ages. People are going to be making jokes about his funeral for about 2 or 3 months. It's like the death that just keeps on giving.
Reg, did you watch it?
I came in about halfway through, and first half hour, I thought it was about like some kind of music competition. And,
were you voting at home?
Yeah,
Going,
wow, it's a concert, man. I started watching it, and then they flashed on the coffin, and I was like, oh, Michael Jackson dead.
What did you expect Simon Cowell to press a button and go,
Yeah, well, I love that Shaheen. He was on it, wasn't he?
He was going to play with Michael Jackson at the O2.
Which everything you say turns into some innuendo.
As you watch it, you could play the Michael Jackson double entendre drinking game. Every time somebody went, he touched so many people. Way!
I'm just saying, for Shaheen, I think playing with Michael Jackson for 50 dates, that would have stretched him. Have you ever met him?
Twice.
You met him twice?
First time I met him was at an MTV after party, and then the second time it was at Madison Square Gardens, and he was wheeling around Elizabeth Taylor with his pants unbuttoned and no shoes on. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The weirdest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah.
But you know what? Now that Mike's dead, a lot of stories like this gonna pop out. You know, just weird stuff that people nobody listen to, but it's just okay to say now because he's gone. You're gonna hear stories like, I was eating a hot dog one time and he jumped out the TV. And it was the damnedest thing. It was Michael Jackson. And I'm like, Mike, what you doing here? And he's like, hee hee, and he backed out.
But there's also a thing about his saying he'd be singing in heaven with the angels. And I was thinking, if he gets into heaven, we're all going. Aren't we? And I bet you if he is going, the angels will be running around telling the cherubs to put some clothes on. I want you wearing dungarees and duffel coats, minimum.
Let's have a look and see whether Michael Jackson's one of the most talked about things this week. Of course it is. Yes! Yes, Michael Jackson's funeral took place this week. 12-year-old Britain's Got Talent finalist Shaheen Jaffagoli performed at Jackson's funeral. He raised the roof of the Staples Centre and the lid of the coffin. Go on, what else have people been talking about this week?
MI6.
Is it MI5? I don't know this.
MI6. MI6 is foreign intelligence. MI5 is home. MI4 is like parks and waterways. And MI3 is clamping.
Which one does furniture?
MF5. The head of MI6 has been put on one of those Facebook.
His wife has put him on Facebook.
And generally people think that's not great, that people know what the head of MI6 looks like in his trunks. It's a very funny picture because he's playing football on a beach like this. He's going... You can't see my legs, but it's very funny. I bet he was thinking, I wish my wife would put that other photo on where I'm going like this.
Someone said, some expert as well, said that the Taliban get 80% of their information from social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter. Really? Really?
Yeah.
140 characters.
Quickly. Osama, Stephen Fry is having another bagel for breakfast. Yeah, but also, where's the harm? I mean, it's only holiday pictures. You know, what's she going to do? Like, oh, yeah, as you're flicking through, that's the one of us in the Seychelles. That was one we went down to Devon. That's the one of the inside of a nuclear submarine. Whoopsie-daisy.
Well, no, it's mostly for him, because obviously he's embarrassed, but now he has to kill her. She'll just be hanging out of the wash and go, ooh.
What the hell is a woman of her age doing on Facebook when she's married anyway?
I agree with you, Kelly. I'm impressed that my mum can even turn on a computer, and I think that's the way mums should be.
Last night, my mum said to me, get this working for me. And she handed me her computer, and I said, Mum, you press power. So I leave the room and I come back and she's still looking at it, trying to figure out how to turn it on.
Do you think whatever your dad's got is catching?
That's not just a mum thing. My brother, he's only 25. I caught him once. The computer was there. He was trying to type some stuff up and he said, I need to print it out. And it wasn't printing out. And I was going, oh, it'll work itself out. Just connect it. And I left. I come back 10 minutes later and he had the monitor of the thing looking at the... He turned it round to face the printer going, but he has got paper!
Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, this is the story. The head of MI6 has had personal details published on Facebook. Of course, the Russians are years behind in their technology. They're still using Friends Reunited. The MI6 chief has been seen in a couple of embarrassing photos, one wearing a pair of Speedos and another attaching electrodes to the testicles of an Iranian dissident. Did you know, for example, 55% of people think being associated with charity work makes you seem more attractive, which explains why Pudsey Bear gets all that poontang. The oldest paperboy in Britain is Bernard Davies from Brighton. He's 90 years old. Sorry, we just had an update. The oldest paperboy in Britain is Gavin Henderson from Sunderland. He's 12. Right, let's get started. The nation have been talking about over the last week?
Olympics, innit? The winter ones?
The winter ones, yeah. Yeah, if you like things sliding down a hill, you are in luck. It's a treat.
I saw a sport where they ski for a bit, lie down, shoot, out of a gun, out of a backpack, put it back on and then ski off again.
That's the opening of a Bond film you were watching.
Well, that's not how's that a sport? And where'd you get the equipment? I've not seen any of that in JD Sports.
Someone's got a banana over there.
There is a banana over there. We've got to see the banana.
Did you say you could peel a banana with your feet?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, come on, we've got to see
We've
that.
got to see that.
Throw him in the banana, just throw it in. Oh, that would have been spectacular.
I need to be sitting down, really.
You need to...
Well, can't sit down here on the front.
Oh,
You'll sit on the front there like a little monkey boy.
I'm not a performing monkey.
You're not a performing... When you say you're not a performing monkey, sit down and peel that banana. If this isn't entertainment, I don't know what is. This is... Are you supple enough to eat this without using your hands?
Jim, do you want some banana, mate?
Yeah, no, lovely, yeah. How weird's this getting? Henning's 40th birthday today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Henning, we've organised, Henning, because it's your birthday and you've chosen to spend it with us, we've organised a little party. Well, not a party, but sort of a rally for you. Henning Vane, everyone, happy birthday. Look at that.
I can't bloody lift mine up, can I?
You can't. Oh, no, you can't.
Get a straw, will you?
Can we get a straw for... Get a straw for Alex?
I'm just messing with you.
Thank you.
It's a miracle.
Why do you have these big cups?
I find it hard enough to look masculine in a pub without someone have to drink like a frigging beaker.
I think you should down it, John. Why don't you try and down it?
Because I will die.
Let's down it.
Come on, John.
Go on, John.
Man up. Come on, John. I'll be honest. Ladies and gentlemen, you started that fast clap way too soon. I would say you were a quarter of an hour early on your cue there for when to go with it. Oh, he's nearly done it.
There's always editing. They can cut out the bit.
Oh, that's true. Start again.
But keep it nice and slow. people watch this show. Drink responsibly. Honestly. OK, come on. This will be the best thing he's ever done. Come on. Did you know, for example, 26% of new mums worry about their social life changing? So you lose the chance to hang out with the girls, drink Prosecco and have a good old gossip. But on the other hand, you've got sick down your top, your house stinks of baby shit and your boobs ache. So, swings and roundabouts. 10,000 birds die each year crashing in windows. Hey, birds, get with it. Maybe it's time you got a Mac. That is a silly joke. And 17% of women want a partner who likes their cooking better than their mums. I'll admit my girlfriend's cooking is much better than my mum's, but when it comes to blowjobs... Right, let's get started. Best way to put the spark back into a relationship? What do you think, Rob?
Role play? She rolls over and I play with myself.
Alex, what do you think? What's the best way to put the spark back into a relationship?
I think there are two options.
OK.
Alcohol.
Perfect.
Easy. Or a life and death situation.
Sometimes you can combine the two. If you're doing enough Jaeger bombs in one night, oh.
Or if you're having a picnic on a very high cliff. Hold on, back in love.
What do you think, Aisling, if you had to put the spark back into a relationship?
Why bother with sparks? Why not go fire? Set yourself on fire, then he'll notice me!
Craig?
I'd say have an affair. You know, the breakup sex is brilliant. And then coming back to one another is brilliant.
You really are the voice of Strictly.
Have an affair, everyone. Well, they've all taken that advice, haven't they?
See, I would never do Strictly. If I wanted to cheat on my husband, I would just do it and skip all the dance rehearsals.
It's such a convenient excuse, isn't it? Like, oh, I was cursed. I didn't know what I was doing. I walked under a ladder and fell onto his cock. I didn't know what had happened.
Have you had relationships that needed a little bit of a spark, and what did you do?
Absolutely. My boyfriend's so cute, but it's kind of nerdy. He, wears a mouth guard every night to bed, and he sweats a lot. So I just, imagine he's a boxer. He has, little night terrors. I'm like, fight him, baby. So cute.
I tell you what doesn't put a spark back into a relationship, if you've got kids, is when the baby's crying and you go, oh, have you tried giving it some milk?
Don't tell me this.
And she goes, oh, yeah, I'm just sitting here with a baby. I'm not fucking feeding for 3 hours. Oh, yeah, I didn't think to give it milk, did I? I was just sitting there looking and crying at me.
Your missus sounds charming. Oi, oi! Rob's home. Did you meet your wife in prison? Sitting here with a baby, not feeding it.
This little bug's had nothing 3 days.
OK, best way to put a spark back in a relationship. What do you think?
Toys or...
Sex toys. Number 10 is swinging.
Oh, no.
Just going to the park's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Date night.
Date night's number 2. It's more than a date night.
A weekend away.
Yeah,
that's the right answer. Yeah. Yes, the best way to put a spark back into a relationship is a weekend away. I tried to be romantic by taking my girlfriend to a spa, but apparently she wasn't impressed, and it's not even a decent supermarket.
Half of Britain's school children don't know where ham comes from. Birmingham? Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Dave, Johnny, Rob, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Snow. The worst blizzards in Scotland for 10 years or something. 5,000 houses without power, wasn't it? Glasgow airport shut. That called a bloke in Glasgow with a coat on. That's cold. That's cold. There is a serious message, because it is cold. If you know an old person lives near you, on their own, nip round, pop in, you know, use their eating. They get an allowance off the government.
Do people really talk about the snow, though?
Oh, yeah.
Ring up north. They're all talking about it up there.
Christian, have you got any idea what's going on?
I can't understand a word they're saying. Straight though.
Even me?
I just need your PIN number.
All right.
For a good cause.
Okay.
We love the snow in the north, though, don't we? Actually love the snow. As soon as it comes down, we're out there, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Come again?
We love the snow. We love the snow.
The Pope's coming.
No, we're not moving on to that until we've covered snow.
It's white. It's basically a hard version of rain. And when he passed me test 5 months ago, I didn't know you had to take it off the windscreen. To me, it was a magical adventure into Narnia.
Let's have a look and see if snow is one of the top 5 talking points this week. Yes, it is!
Hey! So excited.
Yes, everyone's been talking about the cold weather bringing parts of the country to a standstill this week. During the cold snap, gas prices have more than doubled. On the upside, it looks like the pension crisis might be over. Sean, Christian, Slater and Lauren Laverne, what have the nation been talking about?
Let's see, the Garrick Theatre, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't know.
I think they've been talking about the scandal of the Labour Party selling peerages for cash. Selling peerages, which is, I think, it's very strange, is that selling membership to a club which they've said they're going to disband quite soon. It seems a bit stupid. Do you want to join our club? Yeah, we are getting rid of it quite soon.
You could be Sir Christian Slater for 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's all it
about
costs.
$1 million. It's about $1 million.
It's about $1 million. Oh, forget it.
Well, I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that because you could take out, you could borrow £1 million, lend it to the Labour Party at the same interest rate that you're paying, right? And then you're a lord, and when the bank phone up for the money, you go, do you have any idea who you're speaking to?
£500,000 Michael Flatley paid just to be Lord of the Dance. If he'd have paid a bit more, he could have used his arms. He didn't pay enough, that's it.
Well, let's have a look and see whether Labour selling peerages is one of the top 5 stories this week. Yes, it is. Yes, Labour have been accused of selling peerages by exploiting a loophole where they accept loans instead of donations. They've been defended by a number of leading peers, Baroness Claims Direct, Sir Ocean Finance and the Earl of Cornhill. But most embarrassingly, by Lord Archer. Did you know, for example, 40% of Britons have trouble getting to sleep? Not my girlfriend. She can fall asleep at the drop of a trouser. 20% of British OAPs are unhappy. We don't know about the other 80% because no one's visited in a while. And according to scientists, ironing burns 157 calories an hour. But that can't be true. Otherwise, why is your mum so fat? Right, let's get started. Ashling's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
Well, I'd say it's our dear old pal in America, Lord Trump, the evil. He has fired James Comey, who's the head of the FBI, for investigating Trump into what was some probably dodgy dealings with Russia. And so now he's fired him in quite a dramatic way. And I'd say even Kim Jong-un's a bit like, come on, mate, this is a bit bad.
The guy found out on the news. Like, he found out on the news. He's the head of the FBI. Like a spy. Yeah.
He also thought it was a prank. But I actually like the idea that it would have been a prank. And Trump would have just phoned him an hour later and gone,
I think Trump misses The Apprentice and just wants to fire someone on telly again.
Yeah.
He wrote this really weird letter that said, it's definitely nothing to do with Russia, and thank you for not investigating me. I'm not being investigated, you're fired. Nothing to do with that, have fun.
He's basically doing the political equivalent of like, hey guys, look over there.
So whatever country, it's always Russia, isn't it? That Putin's a right nosy bastard, isn't he? If he was your next door neighbour, he'd be popping his head over the fence, wouldn't he? If you live next door to Putin, he's like, oh, got a new barbecue, have you? Yeah. You can see it, 'cause you're standing on yours looking at my new one.
What do you think, Jamali?
Do you know, it's just since the controversy came out, and it's like they asked Edward Snowden's opinion, and it's just like they're always asking Edward Snowden's opinion. It's like, okay, we get it, Edward's got an opinion, but it's like they ask him about everything. It's like next thing be like, so what do you think of Kim Kardashian? Like, it doesn't matter.
That said, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I asked what you thought, and you went, I don't care what Edward Snowden thinks.
Yeah!
There's a reason I haven't booked him on the show. I've got you here, I care what you think. What do you think? It's not passing the buck.
I'm sorry, it's just Edward Snowden, because you know, everyone, like...
Stop it!
No one gives him shit, and he deserves to be given some shit sometimes.
So, Sarah, what do you make of Donald Trump?
Do you know what? I don't like him. They said to him, oh, look, we've read through Hillary Clinton's emails, and there's nothing there that breaks the law. And he was like, nope, you didn't have time to read them.
No one's reading them all, are they? It's too many, innit? I can't get through mine. I'm having a row with Caroline from Hungry House at the moment. They make up a name on Hungry House. And it always goes, Caroline, hi, a message from Caroline. Hi, Rob, fancy something to eat? You're not real, Caroline. You're an algorithm, Caroline. Stop pretending like we bonded over half a chicken once.
I feel sorry for James Comey, though, because how can he get another job now as a spy, now that he's famous? Which also brings me to, why is James Bond known as a great spy? Hello, I'm Bond, James Bond. Oh, God, I'm not supposed to tell me people.
I think they keep changing his face, though, don't they, with actors?
That's true.
Does help.
That's why.
You in the running for Bond?
No.
You'd make an amazing Bond.
I don't. I look like someone tried to make Daniel Craig and I turned out.
Should we put it in the microwave? Oh, no.
What's happened? Another martini, anyway. I'm dying here.
I'd be an awful spy on the basis that everyone would see me coming. I literally wouldn't be able to hide, would I? I'd walk into somewhere and they go, that bloke was in the market yesterday.
Do you look different? Do you look different like your glasses?
I mean, yeah, this is as described
You
as I
really?
can go, yeah.
Do I shine your glasses?
Yes.
Do I make a good spy? Because this is all it takes sometimes. People are like, oh, hey, Aisling, who the hell are you? I want to vomit, you're so blind.
I know.
OK, let's have a look and see if Trump is up there. Yes, it's Donald Trump firing the head of the FBI. This is the most shocking thing Trump has done since, well, lunchtime? Talking about this week.
Is it the fact that Abu Qatada, like Peter Andre, won't be going back to Jordan? Which is the real tragedy. But that's the real tragedy. When will she find love? But on another matter, yes, we can't get rid of Abu Qatada.
We can't. Yeah, it's terrible.
I think that Abu Qatada, he gets a lot of unfair press here in the country. Like, it's always described as the nightmare neighbour. How can that man be a nightmare neighbour? I mean, he's not allowed to leave the house. He's not allowed to have visitors. The police is always on the doorstep. He's an absolutely brilliant neighbour.
And also, if you've got a parcel coming, you can say, leave it at Abu.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to always be in. Probably people won't do that for him, though. Yeah, I'll have one of Abu's parcels.
John, David, Rachel, what else have the nation been talking about over the last week?
We're getting a new labelling system for food. It's basically saying, oh, poor people are stupid. They go into a supermarket and they pick up Haribo Tang Fastics and they think it's fruit. People know what food is. The reason they eat food is because they work all day in an office with people they hate. They're working in a job that they're told every day they're going to lose, and then they go back to a flat that they can't afford to buy. And do you know what they think? I don't fancy couscous for tea. Do you know what I fancy? A mixing bowl full of Viennetta and chips that I eat with my fist.
Is it the Scottish independence? They've agreed to have a referendum on Scottish independence.
They have indeed. They've set a date.
They've set a date. Have they actually set the date?
They've set, well, 2014, yes.
Because they're going to let 16 and 17-year-olds vote in Scotland, so they've got to give them a year to sort out babysitters and things like that.
They've invented a lot of stuff. They invented the steam engine, the electric light bulb, the television, this expression. before, when people felt like that, south of the border, they used to go...
The fists.
Then the Scots came along and went...
The Scottish are very... They've just canned a marketing campaign. This is how confident they are with Scotland. They had this gem lined up to advertise Edinburgh. Incredinburgh! And they shelved it. They thought, we don't need it. We don't need to go there. I say every town should be advertised like that. Well done, Dee. Glasgow, yourself.
That's more appropriate. Relax, everyone. Just whoa. Take a moment, everyone.
This is the killer.
Sherlock, everyone.
Yabba dabba deen.
Johnston, what else have people been talking about this week?
Lance Armstrong. Is that something that's... I feel like that's been popular over here as well.
We've been chatting about it a little bit. American sportsmen generally, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You guys get American things here?
You get too many.
I'll be honest with you.
Treat. You can have that back. Can I get a coffee? No, you can't get a coffee. You can have a coffee. You can only get a coffee if you bloody work there. The Easter Bunny. You've just opened a can of worms with me, man.
It's the US elections. The choice between two quite dull men who are terrible at talking. They had a debate this week, and they're just both terrible at actually talking. I really hard to listen to them go, we gotta good-rate the economy because if it gets any more badified, we're gonna be saturated until like 2000 and later than now, because...
It's called Mitt Romney. Which
yes.
It's not a... Yeah.
You've really cracked to the very heart of the US debate, haven't you?
Mitt is not a name. No one's called Mitt. I convinced my girlfriend that it was short for mitten.
Mitten Romney?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend?
Don't.
Catherine, have you been following the American election?
Oh, Barack Obama and Michelle, his wife, are like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of politics. They're very exciting. Like Barack Obama, he can sing and he's like cool. And you know, I experienced some climate change when I look at him, I'll be honest. Oh yeah, like when he talks about the national debt, my budget gap widens.
What do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
The I'm a celebrity thing, isn't it?
People I think I can't bear on it now is Ant and Dec, because they're like, it's gone on now, they just laugh. They're like Gaddafi's sons. Laugh at people being tortured. They just laugh, you're being tortured, you're being bitten, you have to eat this. Then they have more torture. There's a woman in a coffin having insects crawling all over her face. They're just going, You can't tire of watching people going, It just doesn't get boring.
Yeah, but it's all the stuff in between where people sit down going, oh, I miss my family. I don't. They throw things.
I mean, you would be incredible on the show if you would ever do it. Do they offer it to you?
Every year. And every year, I happen to be in a supermarket where I can buy stuff and I don't have to beg for it. You know, when you're doing your shopping, they go, would you like to do a celebrity to get me out of here? Or any of them, and you're going, yeah, but you see, I'm here and I've got 9 Twixes and I don't have to do a task.
Well, Lorraine, would you go on?
Absolutely no way. I like my personal space, do you know what I mean? I don't want all these people around me all the time, getting on my nerves, having to eat anuses and willies. It's just not my thing.
Well, it's a shame. Did you know, for example, 70% of British men say they wear their watch as a status symbol? I know I do, and my status is tiny cock o'clock. 40% of young adults don't know how to change a nappy. It's easy. You just have to pull the legs through, fold the flaps over, secure them, and at no point look your nana in the eyes. And 12% of British women would prefer their man to be good at DIY rather than sex. I like to combine the two. Drill hole A against the wall until flush, then screw until nuts tighten. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panelist's job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. Aisling's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
I think people might have mentioned the election results, Jim.
So the results have just come in as we're recording this, quite exciting. The exit poll has predicted a hung parliament with no party gaining an overall majority. So, obviously, we're recording this last Thursday. This goes out on Tuesday, so it'll probably be sorted in the next couple of days. But no one's clear this evening on what's going on.
Can I just say that a hung parliament sounds like the least sexy porno I've ever heard?
Can I just say this?
She called an election! She didn't get the majority!
The real story here, I sense, will be Theresa May, because this was a piece of political gameplay.
Yeah.
Theresa May called the election. She thought they're never going to get anywhere close to me. They were predicting a majority of 170 seats for the Conservatives, and, I mean, they've lost seats.
Yeah.
I bet Corbyn's loving it, isn't he? Just wandering around, just swinging his dick about. What do you reckon he calls it? The comrade? The Red Peril? He calls it El Presidente.
Have you met the Red Peril? Lethal, are you happy with this result? Are you a supporter of Labour? Or?
I am originally a supporter of Labour. I'm not the biggest Jeremy Corbyn fan, I'll be honest. I think he's definitely changed my opinion on this election. He's definitely come out a bit more. But I just find it really hard to take someone who wears baggy suits seriously.
Did you see how many grime artists he was hanging out with?
Yeah, it was cool, but again, I just feel like, is that really genuine, or are you just trying to get the young generation on side?
I don't even know genuine. I don't know a lot about grime.
They can't do worse than Theresa, though, can they? All you've got to do is repeat a couple of sound bites on a loop, wear a necklace that looks like a bike chain, so everyone thinks you're strong and stable. Do you want to see my impression of Theresa May?
Go on.
You ready?
Have you not turned up to a debate? Although, I mean, in fairness to Theresa May, she's not the most charismatic of politicians, so I think if she turned up to the debate, she might have done even worse. Well, the problem with the hung parliament is, of course, it's not over.
It does seem like there is going to be, like, more instability, which means we probably are going to have another election.
No!
Which means that we're just going to do it over and over again. It was Indie Ref, Brexit, now it's going to be Indie Ref and the Temple of Doom, then Indie Ref and the Last Crusade, then Brexit, Brexit Returns, Brexit Forever, Brexit and Robin, and we just go on like that until eventually we're all just dead.
Did you see that they were saying you can take selfies outside of the polling station but not inside of the polling booth? And I was like, God, imagine if there was, like, another type of booth where you could take a photo of yourself.
Is that so you don't show other people's votes? Because they were saying you can say who you voted for, but you can't reveal anyone else's votes. But then this thing came round, they were saying you can bring your dogs to the polling station. And I'm like, that'll definitely give away who you're voting for. Right, Pitbull, UKIP. Whippet, Labour. Some hounds and a couple of horses, Tory. And then the Greens turn up with a fox and it all kicks off.
And of course, Philip May brought Theresa.
Why can't we just vote on an app?
Yeah, but it feels like you've got more say in Britain's Got Talent than you do in the election.
Yeah.
Because you vote on that every week and then they have a little final. I reckon they should have a little runoff, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we just end up with a dog for Prime Minister.
Not just a dog.
I'm going to ruin that
He's on a seesaw.
There's 2 of them. 2 dogs.
What?
This is like the time I found out that baby horses weren't called ponies.
I don't like horses because... Don't do a teeth joke. Flat palm. I don't like it. When you drive through the New Forest, with all the horses knocking about, and they're on the road. I'm like, you've got the whole of the New Forest. You can't eat tarmac.
fuck off out my way. What's it doing?
Yes, political satire here on 8 out of 10 Cats. OK, let's have a look and see if the general election is up there. Of course it is. Yes, it's the general election. It was a snap general election. He's a prick, she's a prick, snap. Days before the election, Corbyn made an appalling gaffe in a radio interview, but they opened a window and it was fine.
Do you know why turkey's so essential to Christmas? It's very interesting, this. Is that turkey naturally contains tryptophan.
Of course.
Which is an antidepressant. It naturally occurs in the turkey, not in pill form. It's got it in it, and of course it's antidepressant. So imagine that's what gets people through Christmas.
So the turkey is actually taking the edge off?
Yeah, it's taking the edge off.
Might be the half a pint of Baileys I've drunk as well.
If turkey was that good, you'd have it every week. You just want to have it once a year on the most important meal of the year. I've tried cooking it upside down, I've tried cooking it with butter, I've injected it with linseed oil, and it's still fucking horrible. It's drier than a nun's nasties. There's no getting away from it. This is the worst meat I've ever had.
So Christmas dinner can be very expensive. It costs a fortune to put that meal together, but there are sort of budget versions. Greggs this year have got budget Christmas dinner. They've got 3 options for you. Would you care to try?
Yes.
No. No. So they've got Christmas dinner flavoured soup, a Christmas dinner bake, and Christmas dinner slice.
Can I point out that I'm lactose intolerant?
You're lactose intolerant?
Yeah.
Ricky, rather than point it out, can we just find out?
There you go. There you go.
Do these things have meat in them?
Do they have meat in them?
Yeah.
No,
The
thanks.
Christmas... not that I think you could identify as meat.
I'm afraid I don't eat meat or shit.
Well, I insist on both in every meal, so
OK, so let's try the soup first. So the soup is a liquefied Christmas... You've started, go on, what did you have? The Christmas
pasta.
dinner? Is it all right?
It's beautiful.
Is it nice?
I would sooner have that than the traditional meal.
Roisin, what do you think?
It's not as bad as it smells.
Not the first time you've said that.
We tried to get a bit experimental last year for Christmas. We tried, have you heard of this? We went with the turducken. Have you heard of the turducken?
What is the turducken?
The turducken is a turkey and a duck and a chicken, and I think they remove the bones from the chicken, ram out the arse of the duck, then that's squeezed together by a very strong, angry man, and that's put up the arse of the turkey. And you think, how much do you want to humiliate those birds? I mean, it's bad enough we've killed you, we're going to eat you, but now we're putting up the arse of another bird, and then you're both going up the arse of a third bird.
I think it's cruel. I think they should at least slaughter the turkey first.
Well, that's how they died.
Was it? Maybe it was a pile-up. Yeah.
The bird pile-up.
Well, no, you've had a little something to eat. What about some festive drinks for you? I've got festive drinks.
Yes, please.
OK, so you've got 3 different drinks there to sample.
One each.
There you go. Yeah, OK. If you turn that around the other way, you'll be able to see what they are. There you go. So I've got Christmas drinks for you. Watch out, one of those is going to slip, I think.
This has turned into Saturday Kitchen, this show.
Dude, you're not giving this in the wrong order, John. You're the worst host ever. Why have you given us mince pies first? There's sprouts in the middle. Let's get that out of the way, shall we?
So the sprout
that's a
juice.
sprout juice.
Sprout juice. Let's do
We
that.
don't want to save that for best. You want to end on the mince pie, don't you?
Oh, Sean, what have you thought?
Is there booze in it?
Tastes a bit like chicken.
What's next? What about the vodka one? Try the vodka one next.
It's mince pie vodka.
Mince pie vodka.
Well, I'm
Mince
actually
pie
off the drink myself.
Yeah, me too.
You're off the drink? Roisin, do 3 of them.
No way.
I'm a very weak man, and I'm not drinking at the moment, and it's so hard for me, but I'm going to go no.
Wow.
Jimmy's face.
Certainly, I'm a professional athlete again.
You're a professional...
Well, the work's dried up, so I've gone back to cricket. Even Strictly have stopped phoning, so... I've got to do something.
Roisin, have you tried one of the vodkas?
Yeah, the sprout juice.
Sprout juice, do you want to try the vodka?
Not drinking
No,
either.
thanks, I'm not drinking.
You're not drinking?
Yeah.
No.
We're called the fun corner.
Well,
What's happened
we
here?
know how to party, unlike those squares.
So what's this one? This one
Who
is...
cares? Bring it over.
Christmas cake.
Oh, that was a strong one. That's like cough syrup.
Are you off?
No.
Oh, cough syrup.
Tummy.
So you can't keep smelling them and hoping...
A bit more and you'll go.
I'm strong, man.
They're not very good, though.
failure, going, yeah, you failed again.
I've got your little something. It's under your desk. There you go. I think you'll enjoy this. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, you can lift up. There you go. It's a kebab rotisserie grill.
How did you know?
So you can turn it on at the front. You turn it on at the front. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at that. And I've...
Did you eat it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Freddie, there you go.
It's a prop,
There's
Freddie.
everything you need to make us all a kebab.
Is that a genuine thing
Yeah,
you
yeah.
buy?
That's a genuine thing you can buy.
Is that really meat, or have you just eaten foam?
No, that is a lovely, sweaty bit of meat.
Wow.
You could stop it to carve it.
No. I'm not pissed enough, Freddie, so...
It's
That's
proper.
it.
It's a
Second
proper.
slice.
It's very good, isn't it?
You're in such a rush.
It's a good gift for Freddie, I think.
Freddie, I wouldn't eat that. It's got a rash.
There you go. Delicious.
All right. Thank you.
Well, yeah, OK. Well, hang on. Who else have I got gifts for? Oh, so Roisin, I got you this. Now... Oh, that's too much chili sauce on that.
I love those things.
Come over.
I love the way they
Roisin?
turn
Yes?
through the night. They're like a lighthouse for drunks, aren't they?
I'll got you this. I know you like cats. You're
Thank
a
you very
cat
much.
person, so I've got you
Against the
that.
windows. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, no, they're delicious.
You know, if you want to have a stroke.
Roisin, you're a cat person, so I got you that.
I think there might be a bit of cat in this.
Turn that round so people can see it.
Sorry.
Can we have some beer?
What is it?
It's a special device so you can teach your cat in 8 weeks to use a human toilet.
Thanks. Yeah.
Laughed. So can I have some beer? Went, I'm joking.
Sean, here's what I got you for Christmas, mate. There you go.
OK, pass it over. I can't be bothered to get up.
I think you'll like this, Sean.
Right.
And this works anywhere in the world.
Do you want me to open it now?
Yeah, you can open it now.
OK.
I think you'll like it.
Ring for beer.
Yeah.
I want non-alcoholic.
Thank you.
Stevie Ritchie, everyone. Stevie Ritchie of the Wax Factor.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stevie Ritchie.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot.
So that'll work anywhere in the world.
Really?
If you're on tour, you can just ring that and he'll bring you a beer. That is now his full-time job.
Which part of that was more expensive, the bell or Stevie Ritchie?
He's back! Stevie Ritchie, everyone.
They took their time pouring it, so there we go.
You're a gent.
There's another one.
You're an absolute gent.
Cheers.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Are you just eating the kebab meat now?
Protein. I'm on a diet.
Jimmy, can I smoke as well? Well, this week I've counted 86 sheep, about 32 cows, 7 ducks, but I haven't seen a single horse. None. So something's going on. The meat scandal.
The meat scandal.
The horse meat's
And
gone
there's
mad,
like,
isn't
it's
it?
sort of rolled on this week and they're saying it might be deliberate. This isn't just an accident.
Horses throwing themselves into abattoirs.
Apparently, it's criminal gangs have been doing this. Criminal gangs from Poland, Romania and Russia are suspected of orchestrating a conspiracy worth millions of pounds by passing off horse meat as beef. What do you think? What did you...
Well, the whole problem with the story is that it's now screwing with all our notions of what we like. I thought I liked beef, but actually I like horse. I'm very confused now, you know.
It's getting more ridiculous because now there's donkey is also being mentioned, and the man said yesterday they hadn't yet tested for dogs and rats. And then where do you go after that? Dead relatives, ex-members of Destiny's Child, and the last pope.
Oh, no, this is my favourite quote of the whole thing. This is from the Findus website. They state they use the best ingredients and a generous pinch of imagination. This imagination tastes a bit like a horse.
Is it to do with the decline in arts and crafts?
Tell me more, Paul.
Well, because people are not doing so many arts and crafts, they're not using glue as much. So that's why they're having to put it all in the burgers. So if they could get more children back into crafts, Then they could use horses again for their proper purpose, which is glue.
When I saw the whole horse meat scandal, I didn't really care because I'm not a fan of horses. I've intentionally eaten horse before. It was lovely. I enjoyed it in France.
Intentionally?
Yeah, it was on the menu, and I was like, I hate horses. I'm going to have that. I'm petrified of horses. I've got a horse story, but I don't know if...
What do you mean you've got a horse? Yeah, I want to hear a horse story. What's a horse story? Settle in, everyone.
Yeah, settle in. Right, so when I was 12, my school trip was to London, and we went to see, I think it's called the Queen's Guards, where they're on horses and with the thing. And so all of my classmates were stroking the horse, and then I went to go and stroke the horse, and the man kicked me and said, "Piss off, you black and made the horse, and then the horse went in front of me.
Sorry, can I just clarify? Was it the horse that said that? If it's a racist horse, then... How weird would you feel about that if there was a talking horse? Wow, this is magical, this is amazing, but he's a racist. Oh, no.
It was like, you know, I'm over the racism, it's not a problem. He got sacked, so it's fine. Honestly, I'm absolutely fine with it.
You've forgiven a racist, but not a horse.
No, I think you make a very good point. Grind them up, put them in a burger.
The problem with meat is that it all looks the same. And what they should do is they should make it like rock. So when you've got beef, it just says cow right the way through it.
You know the cookie cutters you can get? You make different shapes for things. Kind of like cookies. Just one shape like a horse. So any burgers that are horse, just come in a horse shape.
Wow, if that's the case, I think I've eaten a lot of dinosaur.
Who's the nuttiest person you've had to deal with then?
In the recent future, Quentin Tarantino. Recent past, rather. Quentin Tarantino.
Why did you have a problem with Quentin Tarantino?
He got very cross with me or my questions.
Didn't know he'd shut your butt down.
Yeah. You have a butt that will not quit. I think that's what the answer would say.
Why did that happen then? What did he do?
I think he was in a really bad mood and he got very angry. And he'd given this quote to a magazine saying, directors don't get better as they get older, they should know when to quit. And I said, so are you getting better or worse as you get older?
Oh, God.
And he said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, I actually like your movies. And at that point, he went, oh, I've screwed up here.
I think I'd still be quite pissed off if someone said, what do you think of my movies? And I went, I actually like them. They're clearly a pile of shit, but for some reason, I love shoveling that shit down my face. It's been Valentine's Day, hasn't it? I imagine people are talking about love and all that stuff.
Who did you send a Valentine to?
I didn't, no. I view Valentine's Day like the Polish food aisle of a supermarket. I don't really know what it's for, but I like to look at it.
The thing about Valentine's is that time when you can tell people, you know, if you like them. I don't know if do you read Heat magazines? Anyone read Heat magazine?
Is that the magazine that reviews different boilers and legging jackets?
This must be in a way.
I think it's different in the Republic of Ireland. Because they do a thing every year where they talk about people's weird crush. So the number one weird crush, as voted for by the British public, is Russell Howard, which doesn't seem that weird to me. Number two, if you can see that. You are a weird crush, which is such a terrible backhanded compliment, isn't it? It's like saying you don't sweat much for a fat girl.
Weird crush is also John's signature lovemaking style as well.
They sent me a badge. I think it says something on it like, not quite weird enough. I mean, what a chat-up line that is. Lady's just looking for a man who says, I'm mental, but not very.
I can't help thinking, you know, if you look at this panel, there are two people who are single who might get on quite well. And we've got Jamelia. You're single, right?
Stop me, I'm really embarrassed.
Like a playground now. She plenty done.
Yeah.
She does. You're just not weird enough for me, Jamelia.
Just get on with it. Just, you know.
Get down to business.
I haven't got, yeah.
And it is a business with
girlfriend
me.
every bloody week.
You're going to feel pretty bad when one week I come in and I'm in a relationship and there's nothing to talk about. Me and Sue. Sue and I.
I can imagine you getting into a relationship where you're one of those couples that talk about, well, Sue and I think. Even on the show, if she wasn't here, you go, so what have people been talking about this week? And you go, well, Sue and I have been talking quite a lot about beef burgers and
I won't be
ballads.
doing this show if I have a relationship. I ain't leaving the house, I ain't doing gigs. Comedy's just one bit. I mean, you two are in relationships. You only do comedy because you're not really happy in them.
Top thing people boast about.
Do a lot of people go on about being the 1990 East Leinster under-14s triple jump bronze medalist? No, they don't, because that was me.
It's inherently not British, is it? But people, like, it's a very American thing. So, you know, I'm so proud of me. You know, I used to be like, I would have 3 cans of cola a day, and now I got a job. I don't give a shit. The British people, you're boasting in Britain. If someone says, how are you? And you go, yeah, I'm really well. You arrogant.
I boast about the fact that I can wear my left shoe on my right foot. My right shoe on my left foot.
Bullshit. There's no way a man could do that.
Yeah, I can, yeah. Look, there we go. It's a nice feeling. You just feel that like, you know, you can do anything you want. You can go any direction you want. You're not bound by the usual rules. Try it with your shoes. It'll work well.
I've done it. Anyone can do it.
You've got to walk around in them a bit.
Have a little walk. Just see if it looks normal.
walk around in them.
I'll be honest with you, Sean, it makes me feel a little bit queasy.
Because there's always this thing, whoa, and go around corners.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you're at...
Go, whoa, yes.
It's a bit like when you're at Clark's and they say, do they fit? And you sort of... Something's not quite right.
People boast about their kids. That's the thing people go on and on and on about.
Do you brag about your kids?
I do down my kids a lot. I tell them they are.
During the news? Actually on the news?
Christian, I can tell you the right answer is bragging about their kids.
Oh. Went to school in Glasgow. The highlight of the day was eating junk food at lunchtime. And I was always the kind of fat guy that would bring in a note to PE, like, please excuse Kevin from volleyball. He's off the Gregs. So...
Sure. Patrick, Kevin, you're to go first. Who's the greatest living Briton?
Susan Boyle.
People give Susan Boyle a hard time, but I think she's a good-looking fella.
I think she is. They're doing a film of her life as well. Are they? Yeah, and I thought, how interesting is that? The first 40 years is just her feeding cats. I think she'd be a perfect replacement for Michael Jackson at the O2. No, honestly, because now that, you know, Michael Jackson's cancelled, they've renamed the O2...
Cancelled? He died.
No,
he didn't phone up just for a second.
By the way, I'm just about to die. I don't think I can do the show.
I can tell you, Susan Boyle, the public didn't vote for her.
No, but...
Have another guess.
Tim Berners-Lee, the guy who created the internet.
If you invented the internet, it must be rubbish. There's no websites are out. Well, there's nothing to do on it. It's not even got cinema listings. There's nothing to do on the website. Not when you're the first person. It's like the bloke who invented the phone for the first time. Like, you know, Alexander Graham Bell. Who did he ring? How did he know it worked?
Surely, if you invent something, you can always invent another one to go with it.
What, invented two?
I think he invented 2 phones at the same go.
Yeah.
So Jason... Hello, it's me! Hello!
So engaged, you idiot.
I can tell you, Tim Berners-Lee not voted in the top 50 Britons.
Oh. On the computer theme, I just found out Stephen Hawking is British. I never knew that until last week. I could never place the accent, I suppose. I read that he went to Stringfellows. He likes Stringfellows.
In 2003, Hawking reportedly visited Stringfellows.
That must be weird if you're in the booth next to him. And in the next one, you can just hear, play with your boobies. Your eyes are like the cosmos.
I think he's the perfect bloke to go for a pint with, though. WKD for me and a WD-40 for him. It's perfect.
Do you know what I would really like to see him on? I'd really like to see him on Mastermind, because he's so bright.
Mastermind? Have you not seen Robot Wars? He'd kill on that. No! Well, let's have a look and see whether Stephen Hawking is up there.
There he is.
Yes! Stephen Hawking was voted the greatest living Briton by the British public. Hawking's A Brief History of Time is a hugely successful book. Over 200 million people in 100 different countries have now read the first 2 pages. Perhaps his 2 most famous quotes are, "The total energy of the universe is exactly 0," and, "Warning, vehicle reversing." Right, other great living Britons, Jason's team.
It's got to be somebody else who's revered, like David Beckham, for example. Because he's one of those people who I always put together with Stephen Hawking. I always think... because everyone has a... Look, you're giggling already, because he's like... Everyone goes, oh, he's stupid, isn't he, David Beckham? You're like, well, that's not what he's famous for. He's famous for being brilliant at football. Nobody goes, oh, Stephen Hawking, he might be clever, but I'd piss on him in a race. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, I don't think Stephen Hawking would sell as many underpants as David Beckham, would he? And the other thing about David Beckham is he always advertises foreign stuff, doesn't he? He always advertises, like, police sunglasses, Dolce & Gabbana. Why doesn't he do, like, Aunt Bessie's Yorkshire puddings?
These are lovely.
It's a bit like my Michael Jackson voice.
These are Yorkshire puddings. You just take them out of the freezer and...
Shamon!
Yeah.
Yeah. I like seeing proper fat blokes with Beckham on the back of their England shirt. And then I like to run after him down the street going, David! David! David, can I get you? David, can I get you? Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, I thought you were the real one.
He used to be a lovely-looking chap, but he's got too many tattoos, doesn't he? Look, he's going to need a contents page if he carries on like this. Presumably, they're all to remind him of the things he's not supposed to forget. He's got his son's names somewhere on his back or something. He's got "Forever by my side" on his arm. It's presumably to remind him where to keep that.
Oh, well, I can tell you, David Beckham is not in the top 5. Great Britons. Yeah.
There you go.
Beckham recently branded a journalist a sado. What kind of wally says sado, Dave? When he resigned as England captain, Beckham broke down in tears as he realised he'd have to spend more time with her. Another guest from Sean's team.
Jamie Oliver, you see that? Because he's good work for the schools. See, I feel sorry, because when I went to school in Glasgow, the highlight of the day was eating junk food at lunchtime. And I was always the kind of fat guy that would bring in a note to PE, like, please excuse Kevin from volleyball, he's off the Gregs. So... What I'm saying is the guy's effort is pretty commendable, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, no, I think so.
I got really upset with those, as a mother, with those mums that went and fed fish and chips to their kids through the school gate. In sort of, what's the word? Rebellion.
Photo opportunity?
Because it's like, my kid's going to die of obesity. By the time he's 14, that'll learn that, Jamie Oliver.
But it is weird, because I've read, like, people were saying, oh, he's only doing it to become famous. Like, if that's a byproduct of doing something nice and good, then so be it, you know what I mean? If the bloke who invents the cure for cancer wants to name the cure after himself, no one's going to go, big-headed prick. You know what I mean?
Mumps. Do you know who discovered the mumps?
No.
Who?
Have a guess.
Dr. Mumps?
No. It was actually discovered by Dr. Gonorrhea. He was saving his name for something a bit more serious. I can't waste my name on a little red lump. Something that rots the cock.
I can tell you, Jamie Oliver is not in the top 5. Ooh. Over the years, Jamie has helped popularise certain phrases, like pucker, lovely jubbly, and is there anything else on? Another guest, greatest living Briton.
Is Thatcher on there? Thatcher milk snatcher. Which I think she got off remarkably lightly for. It's like having a go at Hitler for making the moustache a little less fashionable, isn't it? It's like saying, Hitler, now we can't have moustaches that are littler, that is. But I bet she's on there, that odious old toad.
I remember when I was a kid, we weren't allowed that soft, whippy ice cream because she invented it, apparently.
Margaret Thatcher invented...
You got the same Margaret Thatcher?
I'm telling you, her and Dr. Whippy, they got together and she invented soft, whippy ice cream. She was part of the team that discovered that.
Was this before she was Foreign Secretary?
That is real. That is real. Have a look. Google it when you get home. Look, that woman's not in. That woman's not in, and she's not mental.
Same thing happened in our house. At Christmas, we weren't allowed tinsel because Robert Mugabe invented tinsel.
It's true. But she was voted in 3 times, so a lot of people back in the day must have liked her.
People say that, oh, she had to do what she did, and that's why you got to admire her for that, because she had to do what she did. A dog's colon has to extract water from its faeces before it pushes it out through its anus, but I'm not going to buy a commemorative plate for that, either. Something you have to do. You don't have to admire her.
Let's have a look and see whether Margaret Thatcher was voted one of the greatest living Britons.
She's bound to be.
No,
She's bound to be.
surely not.
No! Incredibly, yes, the British public voted Thatcher the 4th greatest living Briton. Thatcher recently broke her arm in what doctors describe as a good start. Thatcher says she doesn't want her funeral to be a morbid affair, she wants it to be a celebration. Well, you won't be disappointed, love. It'll be like Mardi Gras, there'll be a conga.
George Clooney got married, didn't he?
George Clooney did get married. I tell you who else is engaged. You. Well, John, this is... What a turnaround. No one saw this coming, did they? Congratulations, John. And if the other half is watching at home, commiserations.
The other half of me.
Her indoors. It's huge news, though, isn't it?
It's big for me, yeah. I wouldn't expect many other people to give a shit, but...
How did you propose? Obviously, Clooney got down on one knee and did the full romantic thing. But how did you propose?
I panicked and went down on 2 knees.
Just to cover your bases?
Sort of, yeah, squatted romantically.
It's how you got into showbiz, isn't it?
So, the George Clooney wedding, has it given you any ideas for your nuptials?
Well, he did a deal with Hello, and I'm pleased to reveal that I have done an exclusive deal with Good Housekeeping magazine. They're not going to have any pictures of the ceremony, but then they are going to have pictures of me tidying up afterwards. Tell you how to get confetti out of a carpet. It's going to be quite a revealing shoot.
Gemma, are you upset George Clooney's no longer on the market?
I was for a little bit, but I think they're quite in love and I'm quite into it. I'm a bit of a romantic, so it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Did you watch George Clooney's wedding on the...
I tuned in halfway through. I saw it, I thought, oh, that's nice. Nice little wedding they're having there in Venice. They only show you the good bits, don't they? They don't show you the bits that go wrong, like the horse and carriage.
It was a disaster, I would
imagine. It was a disaster.
Yeah, Venice is not safe to walk the streets.
No, it's not.
I've been to Venice, and I wouldn't go there. I don't like it. It's a horrible place.
What didn't you like about Venice? Sure.
I had an argument with my missus, so we ended up in separate gondolas. It's just anything you do in Venice is a pain in the arse. Like, if you want to get a key cut, it's like, go across this bridge, get in a boat, cross this square, get in another boat, and you get your key cut, and you come back, you go, oh, I forgot to do the photocopying. You go across the other side. It's a pain in the arse, the whole place.
There's also lots of pigeons. There's pigeons everywhere.
Right.
It is. It's famous for its pigeons.
Famous for its pigeons. That's really what's most famous for. It's pigeons, then canals, and then St Mark's Square. That's the order, isn't it?
It's an attraction because everyone gives you seeds to feed the pigeons, but then you take photos with pigeons on you, like a scarecrow.
I think they were just using you as a scarecrow.
They stayed in a 7-star hotel where the ratio of guests to staff is 1-to-1, which sounds horrendous.
A 7-star hotel? What is 7-star hotels? Does the pool have, like, a still end and a sparkling end? What level can luxury reach where it deserves 7 stars, and is there another level of 8 stars?
Gemma, you've been to Downing Street. What do you make of Cameron?
I didn't meet Cam. Well, I met Sam Cam.
You met Sam Cam?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I won an award and then she was on the panel to choose who got them and then invited us all for a cup of tea the next day.
What a treat, a cup of tea with Samantha Cameron. What did you talk about?
We talked about how scary it was that you can get porn so easily online.
Scary?
Yeah. We were just talking about the internet and how it can be good and bad. You know?
It's all bad, the internet.
Yeah. Do you reckon?
Yeah. You can't name me one good thing about the internet.
I can.
What?
There's a video of a pig with a baby monkey on it running around.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
It is, yeah, it is.
That doesn't... You name me one good thing.
The baby monkey's got a coat on.
Before the animal rights people, you could go to the local circus once a year and see...
Before the animal rights people.
You could go to your local circus and see a monkey on a pig, and they'd be earning a bloody good living. They'd be earning their pig.
Sean's views do not necessarily represent Channel 4's. Jamie, you're incredibly posh. Do you know any Tories?
I don't. My brother went to Eton, so that's...
What, they didn't send you there? They went, this would be a waste.
I wasn't clever enough. Before you go to Eton, you have to take a test to see if you're...
Rich.
Not... Yeah.
I love it. I love an innuendo.
Bet you do.
I don't know. I think there's something really nice about an innuendo because only if you're a grown-up you get it.
There have always been innuendos. Innuendos.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Is that right?
See why you're on the B at Eton.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Innuendos.
What is the word?
Don't worry about it.
Well, some of these, I think, were maybe a little bit too obvious. I mean, I think Mel and Sue were brilliant on the show, but some of these, I think, maybe crossed the line. So Sue said, keep your biscuits erect, get those lady fingers soggy, time to slap those baps down.
Yeah. Mel and Sue, if you're watching, Jimmy Carr thinks you went too far.
I went too far?
You crossed the line there.
OK, or Mel said, we love chunky nuts. You know we love chunky nuts on Bake Off. That's one hell of a snake.
To be fair, they're talking about chunky nuts. It's not like someone's baking a cake and they've said, do you know what I like? Big dicks. If someone has some baps in the oven and you need them to remove the baps from that oven, it's very difficult not to say, can you get your baps out?
I am so looking forward to the trailer for this show with John Richardson just say, you know what I like? Big dicks.
The thing that puzzles me is, why are they cooking in a tent? I find that conceptually. Like, texturally, the two textures of the oven and the pipes of the gas going into the oven and then surrounded by a tent. Does that not trouble you in any way?
So where are the plugs?
That's like a really bad... Yes! Exactly! Where are the plugs? Yeah! They've done a study, the WWF, not wrestling, but the wildlife, the Little Furry Creatures Association. We've got 40% less animals than we had in the past.
Yeah, this is the global wildlife population has halved in the last 40 years.
And just begs the question for me, who's that crapping on my car, then?
Jamie.
One of my favourite. I love animals.
OK.
I like monkeys. I think that's sweet.
You ever seen one on the back of a pig? I'm a bit worried about these animals, because if all the elephants go, they're going to come after me for ivory.
Do you know what the only other...
Just thinking that is a chess set waiting to happen, your team.
Do you know what the only other animal to be able to stand on its head is?
I don't know, no.
It's an elephant.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one in the first place. The only other animal apart from what?
Humans.
Oh, humans.
We can stand on our heads. Go on, Jack, demonstrate.
I'd be showing off, but I bet that's not true. I bet they've not gone round the whole animal kingdom, go on. I bet a meerkat can stand on its head.
Yeah, the other fact, do you know how big a blue whale's penis is?
Yes, I do. It's the size of a small car.
Yeah, it's apparently 8 metres long.
Small car, yeah.
That's a big car, Jimmy. 8 metres is an enormous... 8 metres is a lorry. What are you driving?
Cameron, are you an animal lover?
I'm not a crazy animal lover, but I know loads of people that are so in love with their pets that I couldn't say anything bad about cats or dogs because they'd be really upset with me.
But do you have a pet?
No, I want one though, but I live in London, it's hard, isn't it?
John, are you distressed by this report that animals are disappearing?
Well, it's not great news, is it? We'll have to start being called 4 out of 5 cats. Because... What?
theory, if it's about the reduction amount of numbers, it'd be 4 out of 10, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be 4 out of 5, because that's the same as 8 out of 10.
It is the same.
It should be 4 out of 10 cats.
Ooh.
No, because there wouldn't be 10 cats. The joke is that the same percentage would agree with the question asked, but we couldn't find 10 cats to ask, so we could only ask 5.
I don't like it when Mummy and Daddy fight. Is it my fault? 7% of drivers have gone to court over a speeding incident. It happened to me. I tried to explain, yes, I was speeding at one point, but to be fair, hitting those pensioners slowed me right down. 5% of people have worn the same pair of jeans for the last 10 years, and we call those people dads. And 43% of British women don't get enough sleep. Well, ladies, trust me, if you go to bed with me, you will. Right, let's get started. Rob's team, what have the nation been talking about over the last week?
Trump, again.
You think?
I think this is a glimpse into the next 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah, depressingly.
Apparently he's calming down a bit. It's not as bad. I think that's the general vibe. He's stopped the ban on Muslim thing's not going to happen, and the wall's a little bit, you know, it's more fancy. But then you sort of go, oh, right, he's calmed down then. What has he done? Oh, just appointed a white supremacist as his right-hand man. Oh, good, thank God. I thought he was going to do something racist.
I think the whole thing about the fence is going to be really funny, you know, because, you know, it was a wall at some point, and we already have some walls. You know, then it's going to be a fence in some parts, then it's going to be barbed wire at some parts, a dog at other parts, and just like a keep off the grass sign at the very end.
I sort of think, though, like, he's saying he wants to keep Obamacare and still do the wall, but it's going to be expensive. Why doesn't he just build one really long hospital? And just put that on the border.
You know he'd build it on the wrong side, though.
Yeah. Oh, no!
I can't believe how he's getting away with saying these things, like... It's just insane, some of the things that he says and what he says he's going to do.
The thing is, he's like in his 70s. Like, my dad's in his 70s. I'd never let him run a country unless... unless my mum was with him all the time. Just come on, Dave. Yeah, just talk to him, stop eating cakes and crack on with the job.
It does feel like every time, when you look at what 2016 has given us, Donald Trump got elected, it feels like the world's at war, the refugee crisis is escalating, Mary Berry's off Bake Off Fred, they've changed the size of Toblerone's Fred. It feels like 2016, what have you got left for us? We've 1 month left. Will Postman Pat come out as a paedophile?
The things his cat would have seen.
Watching the news at the moment, like, I finally understand watching football, because night after night, I feel like I'm watching like this, going, oh, come on! Get off the news!
Sarah, what do you make of Donald Trump?
I find that the right in America seem to be so contradictory. So on one hand, they're like very pro-life, and so that's very tricky in terms of women's reproductive rights. And then on the other side, they're talking about pro-gun laws and supporting that. And I feel like if we just called maybe fatal shootings very late-term abortions, we could solve it. Like, how can it be that, like, you are allowed to kill an intruder in your house but not evacuate one from your womb? Like, pick a team. It's one or the other. The 10th call he made was to Theresa May, and everyone's questioning that. And if we want his attention, we need a pussy he wants to grab. And I think we should pretend that Kelly Brook is Prime Minister. Not, just to entice him, not let him near her. I'll kick his head in if he touches her, but just to like, get him interested.
Yeah. Are you saying that instead of phoning number 10, it should be some sort of chat line first? Just to kind of, hi.
Yeah. Imagine, though, being Theresa May and being like, her age and getting to the top of her game, and she's still, ladies, waiting for some jackass to call. Just called 10 other people. And eventually, at the end of the night, around 4 a.m., she gets this text from Donald Trump going, "Bae, you still up?" And she's like, oh, why do I get myself in this situation?
She definitely texted back, who dis? Like, she didn't know. Why was that a snub, though? She was the 10th. Do you know how hard it is to be a 10 in Donald Trump's book? Like, you have to be 50 years younger than she is already.
Well, let's have a look and see if Donald Trump's one of the most talked about things. Of course. Yes, it's Donald Trump, president-elect. Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson said there was a lot to be positive about following Trump's victory. Yeah, especially if you're a big fan of sexual assault and racism.
Well, the Bumblebee crisis.
What now?
What? The Bumblebee...
Don't panic! Don't panic! No one panic!
Calm down, it's...
What are you talking about? What Bumblebee crisis?
You don't know.
In the paper, when it says BB crisis, you know that's Big Brother, don't you?
Female bumblebees, which apparently are the zealous, hard-working sex, are turning into fat, lazy males. This is a crisis because although bumblebees don't make honey, they do a lot of bumbling. And bumbling levels have reached a record low, and it is a real problem.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of lady bees turning into lady boys?
Exactly.
So bumblebees, you're saying, don't make honey?
No.
Right, they just bumble around.
They just bumble, and neither do they sting.
What do they do? Little fat, lazy Do they do anything? Am I dreaming, or is Richard Madeley talking about bees?
Because I can check if that's in the top 5.
I don't think it probably is.
Well, I think people have got to be talking about the shock horror news that Coldplay have been knocked off the #1 spot by...
Jack Shearer.
Crazy Frog.
That's more annoying than the Crazy Frog.
But you don't have to pixelate her genitals, so...
Chris Martin said he wants to catch him and eat his legs. But he's never going to do it. In the video, there's some guy in a rocket bike chasing him. He can't do it.
7% of UK kids don't know what?
The correct way to prepare crack.
That if they eat another chocolate biscuit, they'll turn into a chocolate biscuit.
It is about food.
What a carrot is.
Very close.
What a carrot isn't.
I think I'm going to have to give you this one. It's 7% of UK kids don't know how to eat an orange.
What?
Incredibly. 7% of UK kids don't know how to eat an orange. Cover it in breadcrumbs and deep fry it. They'll get the hang of it. To be fair, most kids get all the orangey goodness they need from Bacardi Breezes. Sean's team. This is from a study by Leicester University from March this year. On average, policemen spend 2 minutes per day what?
Playing with their needle.
Arguing over who's going to be bad cop.
Spend 2 minutes per day tampering with evidence. You know, just for old time's sake.
Is it boiling a really soft egg?
No, the answer is, in fact, on average, policemen spend 2 minutes per day taking statements. Dave, Simon and Lee. This is from the Department of Health survey from last December. Southerners are 5 times more likely to what than Northerners?
Support Manchester United.
Celebrate Pimm's o'clock?
Book a flight from Gatwick.
I'll give you a clue. It's to do with an emergency.
5 times more likely to not have an emergency.
It wasn't that much of a clue.
Call an ambulance.
You're absolutely right. It is dial 999.
Yeah.
My neighbour had a heart attack, right? Fell on his hamster, and the RSPCA got there before the ambulance.
Sean's team, you're next. This is according to a survey by the Ramblers Association from this March. 69% of people think that encountering what would spoil their enjoyment of a country walk?
Talking sheep. Especially a really dull one. If a sheep could talk, it'd be quite boring, wouldn't it? You know, it's just been standing here all day. Bloody boring. I stood over there yesterday. It's great.
A badger the size of a horse.
That sounded really rude, the way you said it. Oh, she had a badger the size of a horse.
I keep forgetting Richard Madeley's there, and it's like a little surprise every 5 minutes.
What would spoil a country walk? Come on, just think about it logically.
A bull.
The road.
Electric pylon.
Yeah, you're along the right.
Motorway. Cars.
Well, you're absolutely right. I'll give you that. It's vehicles.
What?
Dave, your team, next one's from the British Attitude Survey, December 2004. By the year 2015, half the world's population will what?
Have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
will have had a go on Titmus.
I've read the Da Vinci Code.
Reading the Da Vinci Code is kind of along the same lines. They will be able to read the Da Vinci Code.
Speaking English.
You're absolutely right. Sean, yours is the next one from a survey by Surrey University featured in the Daily Mail in March. 17% of British women are kept awake each night by what?
17% of British men.
Richard Madeley.
Yeah, they're there tossing and turning.
Is it ecstasy?
I think it's a gentle but insistent prodding in their lower backs.
Come on, it's quite an obvious one.
The children.
Is it snoring?
You are absolutely 100% right. 17% of British women are kept awake by their partner snoring. If your partner does snore, one way you can deal with it is to gently roll them over. Do it 3 times, they're out the bed, problem solved. Most disappointing holiday destination?
Leatherhead.
Costa Delamitri.
Is it Dusseldorf?
It's
not.
not.
I always see, you know, the EasyJet have those flights on Ryanair to Dusseldorf. And you think, why would you want to go? If you say, I'm taking you on a romantic weekend, where to? Dusseldorf.
I think it's anywhere where England's barmy army are when you get there. Spain especially, because I don't know if you've been there when there's been a football match on and they're all on the streets going, Championes, champion... And all the Spanish are going, that's mushrooms.
OK, come on, most disappointing. It's between Spain and France.
Andorra is between Spain and France.
Andorra is the correct answer. The most disappointing holiday destination. This is from a That's Life magazine survey from last year. Most frequently told lie. Simon.
It's been great to have you on the show.
I must have downloaded it by accident.
It could be you.
Or is it, I won't come on your cat?
Most frequently told. It's more obvious than that. It's something that is often said by men to women.
Like a donkey.
Something like... You know you...
Don't look fat in that.
Yeah.
You are exactly
Yeah.
right. The most frequently told lie is you don't look fat in that.
Well done, Richard.
If you look, we've got the top 10 here. It's, of course, you don't look fat is number 1. These were only £10. Second most common. The bus was late. I've got a headache. I've only had 1 drink. That dress looks good on you. The check's in the post. You look 10 years younger. You're wonderful in bed, and I love you. I think over the course of 1 weekend, I've used all of those. This is from a poll by Yours magazine from last year. Hardest thing to open?
A spearmint rhino in Kabul.
I think there's a market for it, I'll be honest.
Yep.
You go in there, pay your money. Oh, she's got beautiful eyes.
Is it the front door when you need a poo?
I shall tell you, surprisingly, the most difficult thing to open is not a West End musical. It is, in fact, bleach bottles. But considering the fact that kids can't get into an orange, why are we worrying?
Yeah, European Championships. I reckon they're talking about that. I mean, a lot of people are talking about that.
Quieter than normal, though. It's not as much. I reckon everyone's getting ready for the Olympics.
Everyone's waiting for the racism to kick off. That's why it's quiet. Because there's been so much lead up to it that the fact that it's having... It's like if you had a party and you had a massive balloon and you just held a pin next to it like that. And you went, how's the party? Is everyone enjoying the party? Everyone would really be thinking, when are you going to burst that fucking balloon? Because I'm going to cry when that happens.
How scared are you of a balloon bursting?
You're telling me you don't have an ounce of fear when someone's blowing a balloon and they get to that point where the colours started to fade and it's too big and you want to say to him, it's big enough, stop!
John, that's when I hold my eyelids open and walk right up to the balloon.
The only time I've got interest in football is when Peter Crouch and David Beckham are playing, and basically...
Such a weird mix.
That famous heartthrob, Peter Crouch.
I love it. I love that dance he does.
That dance he does?
That's not it.
You're the only one.
You're thinking of dressage.
I love Spurs, that's who I support.
Right.
And they're not playing, are they, in the Euros?
They're not playing in the Euros, no.
As a Spurs fan, you'll know that the Spurs manager left this week. His name was...
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho. He's got quite a Cockney accent now. He's really picked up English, Jose Mourinho.
Or is it Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp.
That's it. I love Harry. I love
gone.
Harry.
You know what I didn't like about the match against France was it started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I have to watch it with my kids, which ruins it, because they just ask loads and loads of questions. So it starts off, it goes, who's in the white shirts? You go, that's England. Oh, we live in England, don't we? Yes. Who's in the blue shirts? That's France. Why is he wearing yellow? He's the referee. What does he do? He tells all the rules. What are the rules? You can't pick the ball up. Why is that man picking the ball up? He's the England goalkeeper. England? Why is he wearing green? You go, oh. In the end, I just recorded it and put Happy Feet on and got my own back. You go, why is that penguin talking? They can't knit scarves.
You're not actually collecting the stickers, are you?
Yes.
The Panini stickers book.
Yeah, but I didn't want it to come out like this. I thought I'd at least entice a girl back to my bedroom before I brought out my swaps.
How many do you need now?
How many do I need? 250 stickers and one girlfriend. Does anyone have the England shiny?
It's dreadful, the shiny. It's not the official badge because it's not licensed because we go with mail-in. But I'm not doing the stickers because I'm cool.
Weirdo alert! Are you doing the stickers
John
as well?
is doing the stickers. I've swapped with John.
You're collecting the stickers?
I am acquiring stickers.
I can't believe you two are collecting You're grown men!
Me and Josh were together in Greenwich last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we went on the hunt for stickers.
Do they have any stats on, or is it just the pictures of the blokes?
Oh, now she's interested.
I've got an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain that...
Oh, I need that. That's Theo Walcott, I'll swap you.
Oh. This may be the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
It's pretty much what the newsagent said when I said you're doing the stickers, and he just looked at both of us and went, no.
Oh, what's the pleasure of it?
The pleasure is in putting the stickers exactly in the lines.
I think if it was scratch cards, it'd be worth it, but not what you're doing.
You look at me like I'm filthy, like I've just admitted that I like to on dead hedgehogs or something. I think what you're doing is just a little bit... I mean, if it was... Why is a scratch card better than a sticker book?
Because you, like...
I like the way you've got really outraged. Why is that really bad?
Hey, a scratch card's £1 and a packet of stickers is 50p, so financially I'm up straight away. When you scratch a scratch card, you throw it away, you bin it. When I collect a sticker, that's in my book and I've got that forever.
John started this conversation by pretending he didn't collect the stickers. And now it's come out, he's the biggest ambassador for them in Britain.
Here's an amazing statistic. Going into this tournament in the Euros, England have never won their first game, have never beaten Sweden in a competitive match, and have never beaten the host of the tournament.
I learned that in a sticker book.
Is it gay marriage? Or garage, as I like to call it. The church are concerned about it, that they'll be forced to marry gay people in churches. It's like they've thought, this is the thin end of the wedge. What next? Horses?
Don't 80% of people under 50 are they supposedly for gay marriage? So why don't? What's the problem?
Yeah, just
Have a
get
vote,
over
come on.
it.
It's the problem they've got is they've got a very, very diminishing congregation. People say churches are half empty. They're not. They're too big. They should be like little, tea huts. If you go on the outside of a town, they've got those big retail sheds like Halfords. It'd be like having one of those for a key cutter. It's just a bloke sitting there with a key cutting machine, this massive big shed. It's not the appropriate building for the marketplace.
What do you make of this, Reg, the gay marriage thing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you are like a gay enthusiast.
I would describe myself as a gay enthusiast, yeah.
If you are a gay enthusiast, you probably would more enjoy the company of other gay enthusiasts. So...
You make it sound like a hobby.
Well, they make it look like it's fun. So.
Can I just say something?
Are you on the way to a wedding now?
No, I wore this especially for you.
Well, thank you
Because
very
you look like
much.
the man from Del Monte in that suit.
Thank you.
But basically, you know...
You said yes a few times, I would imagine.
Basically, the church... Oi, oi, pack it in. You know, the church has this thing, you know, we will welcome anyone through our doors and everything. And really, a lot of people hide in the church. You know, you've got a lot of these people that work in churches. You see documentaries on it. They've molested children when they have been in their church.
Right.
So I don't think the church has the right to turn around and say, if you're gay, you can't get married in the church, because what goes on in a lot of churches isn't 100% anyway. Take that.
Yeah, we're good. Of course I know what you mean. A lot of what happens in churches ain't 100%. That's a fact.
It's inherently un-Christian to discriminate in any way. The question you should ask as a Christian is, who would Jesus do?
The big question for me is, why would anyone want to marry a bloke? But we had a bloke sleep on our sofa recently. I mean, there was a smell in the house for about 2 days.
But you have to remember that before your wife got to you, you smelled like that, too.
I don't understand why anyone would want to marry anyone. I mean, get together, sure, your bill's half price. I understand. I get it. TV licence is going up, gas is going up, electric's going up. Share it with someone, but don't bring paperwork into the eventual demise of your love.
I think it's respect. If you actually marry someone, it shows that, you know, there's respect there.
Right.
Because, you know, listen, you get a nice ring out of it, and not only that, basically, you have a fantastic day, but if you've been with someone for years and they can't even get down to Tiffany's and buy you a decent ring, get them gone.
Do you not know where Tiffany's is?
Yeah, Bond Street.
Nip down and get one yourself then, love.
I'm not saying that. I can buy my own ring.
Josh, what do you make of gay marriage?
I don't like going to weddings. I find it stressful. I'd just get rid of marriage.
If you don't have weddings, the only time the whole family gets together is at funerals. And that is depressing.
Very true.
Not all the family, because there's one that's...
7% of people don't wear underwear. Sadly, though, it's not the 7% of people you hoped. 1 in 4 British people have never been to Wales or Scotland, and those people are known as employers. And 8% of men want to marry a teacher. I used to go out with a teacher. If I wanted to have sex, she always insisted I put my hand up first. John's team, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
Probably the most exciting end to a Premier League season ever. It was one of those moments, though, I just felt so for everyone who doesn't like sport, because if you like sport, it was just... I mean, I was in Morrison's car park because I was on tour, so I went and got myself a little packed lunch, and I got in the back and I pushed the seats forward and I put 5 Live on, and I just went batshit. Because I didn't think... I knew I wanted to win, because it's basically twats versus and then, after a while of working out whether I preferred twats which, I mean, every man goes through at some point. I assume we all watched it?
They said it was the most thrilling finale ever. I thought the most thrilling finale ever is when you're trying to jack one out and someone's trying to put the key in the door.
Soccer Saturday is the best entertainment. There's a guy called Chris Kamara who gets so excited, he starts as an analogy and then he just gets confused. There's a clip of him going, and the lads are fighting like beavers.
We're talking about this game, the Man City game, as being the most... It couldn't possibly be more dramatic. And I was thinking, well, it could be a bit more dramatic if, on the final whistle, once they'd won, a mysterious fog descended on the pitch. And then out of the fog came Mancini, and it turns out he was a pirate ghost. Like that. And he was clutching the calcified heart of his virgin bride, who was burnt by customs men 300 years ago. And Gary Neville goes, oh, my God, this is unbelievable scenes here. Mancini's a pirate ghost, come to wreak revenge.
Did you watch it, Vernon?
I had to watch it because I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan, and we were in a relegation scrap with QPR, who Manchester City were playing. Tough, yeah, we got relegated.
You're back where you belong.
Why don't you come to the Reebok one day, Jimmy? Me and you.
I should go to the Reebok one day. What to buy trainers?
It's in Bolton. it's a stadium.
There was a man who walked out after 88 minutes and missed the best part of his life ever. And it makes me feel good that I think there might have been points in my life where I've left early and I just didn't find out, like my last girlfriend when she said, I don't think we should see each other anymore. If I'd have stayed, she'd have probably gone, unless we're husband and wife.
Catherine, do you follow...
No, it's boring. I get that you guys love football, and I love you for that. But I would be interested if they announced the players in a way that I could understand. Like, instead of numbers on their backs, they could be like, and now Colleen Rooney's husband, and now Alex Gerrard's husband, and the guy who cheated on Cheryl Cole, followed by that dickhead who's Harvey's father, you know? And then...
What voice are you doing? Is it a haunted house voice?
The Greeks are in... I mean, it's been going on for bloody months. We left his country. I mean, I think the real victims in all this is people doing topical panel shows, you know? Every week, we look down and go, what are the big stories? You go, oh, it's the bloody Greeks again, can't they sort? I mean, it's such a nice country, got lovely weather, all that lovely lamb, marinated lamb, they've got
hummus, they've got tarama salata, Stavros Flatley, they've got it all.
Greece is just like Kerry Katona, for me. Yeah.
Go on, explain it to us.
It's exactly the same. They both, like, change management to get out of a bad situation. They both get gas from Turkey. They both have no jobs or market confidence. Jennifer Aniston's Greek, and she's lovely. And she could just adopt the whole nation of Greece to save it, and that would really stick it to Brangelina as well.
Yeah.
She'd be like, who's Mother Earth now, home wrecker?
Note to self, say home wrecker more. Most people would rather communicate with their friends online than face-to-face. True or false? What do you think, John?
I don't like the whole online... I mean, if you're talking to someone online, they're not a friend, are they? That is a simple fact. If they're not in the room, they're not a friend. People say, oh, I've got loads of friends online. No, you haven't. You're a twat. You're on your own.
So is that the voice in your head speaking to you now, or...?
I don't know which voice is which, but I'm mentally ill, right?
Well, didn't you think, like, maybe if you met someone that you thought was sexy online, that they could just be this weird old man?
I went so far as to go to America to meet one that I'd met in Beauty's Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, how did that go?
She was all right, but a friend, and I swear to God, I've never... And being of, you know, a rotund shape myself, I feel able to say this. You know when you look through the thing in your door on your hotel, right?
Yeah.
You know when you do that, and it distorts someone's body shape, and so
Yeah.
they kind of fill the glass. And I opened the door, and she was the same shape. So I went like that, and I opened the door, and I went, Jesus Christ!
Well, that I'm sure did wonders for her self-esteem. John, how many friends would you say you have?
Like a million. I mean, a stranger's just a friend you haven't met yet. What I don't like about chatting to people online is there are people whose accents I can tolerate and there are people who blah, 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 and then you talk to them online and you realise, oh, you can't write, you can't spell, you can't punctuate. And then a male friend will send me a text with an X on it. See, you've never kissed me in real life. Why are you suddenly getting all flirty on a text? Because when I bring it next time we're at the pub, you're going to be, whoa, whoa, what's this? You started it, you pricks.
Paul, have you ever met anyone online?
I just don't understand the whole... Because if Facebook, you can talk to people now face-to-face. Twitter, you're going to introduce it. But I don't understand the whole following thing. If I want to follow someone, I'll do it in a raincoat. I won't do it...
You want anything these things, Catherine?
I am, yes. I'm on Facebook and the Twitter. And the last time I appeared on this show, I was very happy to get lots of lady followers and very confused to get lots of pictures of cocks.
I would like to apologise for that. I think I misread the signs. Worst thing about going to the gym?
The changing rooms. But if I'm getting changed, I try to do it without exposing my bits to other men.
Yeah, because they're all hiding all around the changing rooms, waiting for you to come in. John's coming! Everybody hides! They're getting in the laundry bin in the towels, like that. Alibaba. They lifted that and go, is John there? Yeah.
I would that they were hiding, but they're not hiding. They're just stood there with everything out, flossing their ani in front of me. So I assume other men don't want to see my testicles. But if you're the man in the changing rooms doing the towel thing where you have to flick your knickers up, your boxer shorts up...
Your knickers? I don't want this to descend into some sort of playground teasing, but it would appear that John wears knickers.
I actually believe, and this is the exercise I practice, the world is my gym. Because I practice diametric tension. So, for example, if I pick up a cup of tea, I go like this, I go... I think the worst thing about going to the gym is the music. Because you never have music you like, it's always like...
It's very difficult to exercise to, like, Swan Lake.
It does seem to be a universal thing in every gym in the country. They've gone, tell you what people want. Well, that's a bad example, because that is a good one. But there are some annoying ones as well.
The thing is, if you get rid of the that just amplifies the idiot who's giving it...
Of course you can
just
spy.
me opening my locker.